All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ. You are here on the home of the slightly above average ship review. We are on Greece. We are top tier in a domination match. Just 7 on 7. Thanks, Wargaming, for not mandating 9 on 9 matches. And when I say thanks, I really mean fuck you. All right, we're in Le Doigt. I believe that's how you pronounce this word. Apostrophe adroit. I think that means skillful. So we're in Le Doigt, and we are moving out here on Greece to do our thing. So these are the new destroyers that are in early access right now. They are French. These are a little bit different than the normal French destroyers. I don't think they're very fast. As you can see, we're not going especially fast. They don't have really good guns, although this specific destroyer does have the 130 millimeter guns. So that's like probably the same as like Barask or something like that. They don't have those bigger caliber. I think they're 139s. Man, it's been so long since I've played French destroyers because Wargaming fucked them up so bad. I just don't know anymore. All right, here is the enemy, Le Doigt. And so we're going to aim and shoot really badly. We're also going to shoot these flammable torpedoes. So here's the thing about these torpedoes in this alternate French line. And they'll probably get pushed into another ship because Wargaming wants to sell more boats. So there'll be a premium Chinese hovercraft at some point that has these things. The torpedoes do two things. Instead of starting floods, they start fires. And they get faster the farther away they move from your ship. Now, I don't know if it's like gradual, like they're gradually getting faster the entire time. Or like when your torpedo hits like 4 kilometers away, it speeds up 5 knots. I don't know how it works because it's not really explained that I saw it in any of the patch notes. And quite frankly, I just don't care anyway because I don't think this kind of torpedo really existed. So when we're in Fantasyland, reality doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter how the torpedo goes speed-wise. It just goes faster the farther away it gets from your ship. Let's just say that. All right, the other Le Doigt is moving in to get killed. I don't understand why, but he is. The ship behind me launched some torpedoes. We also launched some torpedoes. You can see it's at like a triangle and a triangle effect. Anyway, he got killed by our teammate, who's going to be killed right there by the flammable torpedoes. All right, so the farther away from you they are, the faster they become. Most of them, I think, end up going like 80 knots for that last kilometer of travel. So that's cool, I guess. But the other thing I wanted to mention is that, in my opinion, Le Doigt here is not really a torpedo-focused destroyer, not like the other destroyers in this alternate line. So while I strongly recommend Filippo Bueno for the rest of this line as your commander, for Le Doigt, I recommend using either Louis Violette, or probably a better choice might be D'Artige Dufournet, although he does not have access to Perceptive or anything with an RDF indicator. So it's kind of up to you. Do you want better HE damage? Then you would choose D'Artige Dufournet. And if you want to play it a little bit more gunboaty, then I would recommend Violette. The commander I can strongly not recommend that you use is Robin the Fierce. I know he works for Wargaming, but this is not a gunboat. Doesn't have enough gun barrels. Doesn't have the DPM. All right, look at that. We're launching more torpedoes. and the enemy aircraft carriers out here. So while we got torpedoes heading towards that one battleship, and this other battleship here is about to get killed, or a cruiser, pardon me, we are heading towards the aircraft carrier. Now, somebody else's torpedoes missed, but let's look at my rapidly increasing HE torpedoes. And we get a couple of torpedo strikes there, and we start a couple fires. So I could launch again on Julio Cesare, because he immediately put those out. But I also really want to launch them at the aircraft carrier. But I think they're really better spent being launched at Julio Cesare. So I'm going to just estimate here, and then I'm going to launch them. And then we're going to try to tune up the Langley here with our 4 gun barrels. And we're shooting HE right now. We do allegedly set a fire. But here in a minute, I'm just going to be like, yo, let's try out this armor piercing and see what we can do. And Julio Cesare is shooting at me. All right, there's the Citadel hit on the Langley. That's how you know Julio Cesare ain't doing his job, when he's got time to shoot at me. Anyway, Julio Cesare is dead because he forgot to look out for torpedoes. And now we are continuing to tune up the Langley here, shooting this HE into his corpse. And we're not finding the Citadel spot, so let's try underneath the smokestacks. There we go. Somebody's trying to kill pinch, of course. And there is the remaining salvo. Another Citadel hit. Now we're going to be turning to avoid the attack aircraft. Last gasp of the carrier commander. And we're going to waggle a little bit right there, and he is going to miss. So I'm good, you're bad, the end. All right. The other destroyer, who I'm not sure has been doing a lot the whole game. I just say that because he's totally unscathed damage-wise, as opposed to me, who is almost dead. The enemy Farragut is capturing Alpha, so instead of going over there to confront him, he's joining me over here in the Charlie Cap. I don't think that was the right way to play that, but that's just me. Look, some destroyer players aren't comfortable attacking another player. They would just rather drive around and spam torpedoes from the spawn point and hide in their own smoke, and that's probably what this guy likes doing. So, I mean, whatever. Just part of the game now. Just deal with it, you know? So we are positioning ourselves to go back over to Alpha, because even though this match appears well in hand, I want to get this last kill, so that's the difference between me and that other player. I'm trying to get kill number 3. He's just trying to survive the match, you know? All right, so although we haven't done a ton of damage, I think we've been very effective. We are sailing back over towards Alpha. The friendly cruiser is in Alpha, trying to flip the cap. So that means the destroyer has left Alpha. I actually don't think he's headed towards me right now. And I just say that because I can't even see the RDF indicator in the replay. And then I remembered, oh, wait a minute, I'm using the base commander. There is no RDF indicator. So I have no idea where the destroyer is. And it doesn't matter. He's just not an Alpha. All right. While we're waiting, let's talk about the history of Le Droit. It was the lead ship of her class of destroyers built for the French Navy in the 1920s, slightly enlarged and improved version of the preceding Barrasque class. Look at this wargaming. You can put real ships in the game. 4 Cannon Day 130mm model 1924 guns and single mounts, 1 super firing pair, each fore and aft of the superstructure. Anti-aircraft armament was a pair of Cannon D37mm model 1925 guns, 2 triple 550mm torpedo tubes, and a pair of depth charges, chutes, pardon me, which each carried 8 200-kilogram depth charges. All right, the skillful one was built at AC de France in Dunkirk. Was in action the first months of World War II. Was involved in the evacuation of British and French forces from Dunkirk. In May of 1940, critically damaged and attacked by German HE-111 bombers. The ship was beached near Malles-les-Bains, and the wreck suffered an explosion as the Farragut was about to die. Of the forward magazine, all crew members survived, and it was in the movie Dunkirk, recreated as a model. All right, look at that, perfect timing. Here's the end of the match. All right, we ended up with 36,311 total damage, 27 main battery hits, 3 torpedo strikes, 2 handjob medals, 2 kills, 4 fires, 4 hits to Citadel, 2 cap defended flags, 2 assisted base caps. All in all, pretty well-rounded match. 132,581 silver, 2,300 ship XP, 2,600 commander XP in Le Doigt. And we finished number 2 on the board. No medals, 2 kills, 1524, does that say? Base XP. Good game to the Omaha. He had 3 kills, almost 2,400 base XP. All right, let's go back to the port and take a look at the ship. We are in early access. Here's the only mod, main battery mod 2. And the ship is fully upgraded and prestiged out. Good times. All right, you got HE, AP, and the Incendiary Torpedoes. For consumables, you've got, what am I looking at here? Oh, it just says high chance of causing fire. We'll talk more about that in a minute. All right, unlimited damage control parties, 4 charges of the smoke generator, 2 charges of the engine boost with our build. We have the common battle booster for speed, the standard permanent camouflage, and the early adopter flag. Taking a look at the specs, 12,300 hit points. That's up from 9,800 base value. And a 17% fire resistance, up from 13%. Main battery, those 4 130s, fire out to 10 kilometers, up from 9.1. Reload in 7 seconds, so definitely not a gunboat. Turret traverse slightly improved from the base value of 13.8 to 11.5. Shell grouping value is 2. Dispersion, as you can see, is slightly worse. HE shells, 2014 max damage, up from 1900. Fire chance, 11%, up from 9%. And the armor penetration of HE is 22 millimeters. AP shells do 2,300 max damage. Pen 155 millimeters of point blank range, 74 millimeters at max range, down from 78, and the fuse arming threshold is 22 millimeters. You got those 2 triple tube launchers, fire out to 8 kilometers. They boost for 6 of the 8 kilometers, so after 2 kilometers, the boosting starts. You start at 55 knots, up from 50 knots. You end up going 90 knots, up from 80 knots, so that's a pretty big increase. The reload time is 80 seconds, down from a base value of 85. The fire starting chance at the launch is 100%, but at the maximum range, it's 400%. That makes me think I should start 4 fires, right? Max damage, 11,694. The detectability is 1,100 meters. And the arming distance is 178 meters. This max torpedo detectability, I guess the faster they go, the more visible they become. Not totally explained, but I think that's what that's saying there. AA defense, like most French destroyers, is terrible. Maneuverability, 37.3 knots, 560 meter turning circle, and a 3-second rudder shift time. So I wouldn't call this destroyer fast. Most French destroyers are much faster. Concealment, 4.9 on the surface, 2.8 from the air, 2.2 when firing in smoke, but you are stealthier. Take a look at the stats. 5 matches, 2 wins, 3 losses. Main battery accuracy of 55%. Torpedo accuracy of 17%. Most kills by the main guns. We are averaging 1 kill and 36.7k damage per match. And the last match you saw was not our best match in terms of damage, but it was a pretty good match other than that. These things aren't world beaters, but they're interesting. And the HE Incendiary Torpedo, whatever you want to call it, it's unusual. I'm not sure that I've mastered any of that. Here's the commander, Dartiche du Fournet. Fire setting chance, shell damage, 6% for the HE. Blue for Yora for speed. Deng Shichang for concealment and torpedo damage. Row 1, Burn It Down XXL, better fire setting chance. Row 2, Look at Me Now, concealment. Row 3, Velocious, more speed. Row 4, Smoke on the Water, because we do have smoke screens. And our legendary skills unstoppable. You know, your mileage may vary on the commander build. I tried some other ones out, but again, this isn't a gunboat. I don't recommend the gunboat commander for this alternate line. Certainly not with this ship. Violette may be a better play in the long run. Let me know what you think.